Yo, peace and love, y'all. My name is Dave Miranda, and today is the start of something special. It's a new show, brought to you by myself and my partner in crime on camera, Jimmy Nelson. It's called Just Give Me Five, where we have a guest come on, ask them 5 questions, and they answer. Simple as that. So to kick things off today, I have a special guest, someone who's not only a close friend of mine, but is also a very well-known hip-hop artist throughout the world. So ladies and gentlemen, with no further ado, I present to you Mega Ran.
What up, y'all? This is Mega Ran, and all I'm saying is give me five. I think one of my favorite memories is from a kid I remember named Deshaun who hated math. And I didn't even teach math at the time, but since I was in a position to give him a little extra time, and one day we're like, everybody work on your homework for other classes or whatever you got going on, just pull it out, work on it during some study time. And he pulls out math and he's so frustrated because he absolutely hated like integers and all this stuff. And I remember every day just showing him how to take his time with things and see things in a different way. And we talked about comparing it to like hip hop or comparing it to video games and all the other things he loved. And somehow, some way, by the end of that week, we got him to not only understand the math that he was doing, but to actually enjoy it. So that's why I always said teaching is probably, besides making music, the most rewarding thing you can do, because you can see real change in real time in people and their passion about things come to the surface that they never even knew that they had. So it's nothing like it. First time I was allowed to go to a concert wasn't until college for me. And when I got to college at Penn State, which is about 3 hours away from Philly, the Roots came to town. So I wound up seeing a Philadelphia act at college for the first time. So that was my experience. Seeing the Roots live just completely blew my mind and took me to a complete other place. And it just kind of gave me a lot of potential ideas of what a live hip hop show could do. Because at that time I was still writing, but I had never thought about performances. And then once I saw that, I knew the top level of what a hip hop performance could be. So since then, I've always been a fan of the Roots. So it was an awesome experience to be able to catch them at my college. Wow, if I could bring 3 hip hop artists back from the dead, I think it would be Big L, Biggie, and Tupac. Big L because I think he was just at the beginning and the cusp of what he was about to become as a musician, as a lyricist, as a business owner, and as a man, you know, being so young and hadn't really fully blown up or crossed over when he was unfortunately murdered. So, and also I think Biggie and Pac, because of what their deaths did to hip hop at the time, you know, it was in the middle of a really divisive moment in history that was really dark. So I think if they were somehow able to come out of that, I think that they would have maybe changed their mindsets. And I think that a lot would have completely altered in hip hop history with both of them there. I think about it every day, like, where would Tupac be? Like, he might be Denzel Washington. He might be Obama. Like, Pac could be anybody right now. Who could Biggie be? Biggie could be Puff. He could be anything. He could be, I don't know, the next Berry Gordy. But unfortunately, their lives were cut so short. So I would love to see those 3 back again if I had the opportunity. The greatest lesson 2020's taught me, and my wife probably wouldn't like it, is to not make plans. I think when you plan long term, you're just kind of setting yourself up for either disappointment, failure, confusion, or even just not an ability to realize what could be right in front of you. I think that for the most part, I plan the immediate future, but I definitely don't look too far in expectations, because anything can happen, as we've learned this year. I was just watching a video of me performing in January of this year, and saying like, oh man, we'll be back. I was in DC and I was like, oh, I can't wait to come back on tour. We'll be doing these things. And like, didn't happen, you know? So I think that life is what happens in the midst of making plans. And so you could easily miss out on what life has for you if you're maybe too caught up in the rigidness and the lack of structure that plans can make for you sometimes. So it's okay to plan, maybe not to over plan, and live life a little bit. Wow. It's funny because me as a human being, as a man, as an artist, author, producer, whatever, I feel like all the time I'm always saying, hey, I'm nothing special. I'm just a guy who had some ideas and decided to stick with them and make them work for me. Meaning that anybody could do the things that I do if they just took a little time and a little effort. But at the same time, I do realize when I talk to my mom, when I talk to my wife and things like that, they let me know that I am special and loved. And I think that that's something that's an indescribable feeling. You know, I feel like having a sense of worth and a sense of purpose is so important, but there's nothing like the feeling of real, genuine, unconditional love. And I'm able to get that whether I sell 1 million copies or sell 2 copies, whether I'm on Billboard or nowhere. You know, being able to come home and fall into my wife's arms or talk to my mother or things like people that are really important to me, to feel that real love is above any other feeling that I've ever felt without doubt in my career. So it's, I don't know where I'd be without it, honestly. I feel like love is the key. So with that, you know, you can do anything as long as you know you're loved. I think anything's possible. Well, of course, I want to shout out Mr. Miranda for having me. This is a really cool idea. Shout out to Jimmy Nelson on the camera. Shout out to anybody watching, listening, hopefully getting something from this. And everybody out there that's creating and most importantly, living. This has been a really crazy time for everybody. Stress is at an all-time high. Depression is at an all-time high. I think it's just really important to just stop, live in the moment, and be and breathe. And if you're doing that, then you're already won. So I want to shout you out for persevering through this most unprecedented time. Shouts to everybody, Phoenix, Philly, worldwide, anybody that's ever supported, listening to any of my music. Shout out to the Writers Guild. Shout out to everybody on my Discord, my Twitch channels, and all that. I stream video games about 3-4 times a week, so you can catch me there. And I think that's about it. And you, did I say you? Yeah, you, especially you. Yeah.
And there you have it. I want to thank our special guest, Megaran. Make sure you follow him on all social media platforms. And until next time, stay tuned, stay blessed, stay healthy. Peace. 2 fingers.